Welcome to Bind in Love Marriage Ministry, The Vault. Listen, I am Nicole.
I am Winton.
And we have our first guest for the first time. Y'all seen our first episode. We have
the Hanleys. Hi, everybody.
Greetings.
I'm Tyra Hanley.
I'm Frank Hanley. Greetings.
Yes. So listen, I hope you guys are excited because these couples was our first one that came to our first meeting. And I am excited to actually have them here with us and just to talk and fellowship, worship with each other. And we were just going to dive into some stuff. You ready, Win?
Let's do it.
How about y'all?
Let's do it.
Let's get it done.
Okay. All right. So listen, our first time meeting with each other, we talked about communication. And for some of you who may not know, this is maybe your first time viewing or just maybe trying to figure out what's going on. We have a marriage ministry at Covenant of Grace, Western New York. It's called Bind in Love Marriage Ministry. And we're located, we meet on Mondays. But y'all get that information later on. But stay tuned in. So let's just get focused. So, can I say, what was y'all first experience coming to Bind in Love Marriage Ministry?
I think when we first came, it was like, we know y'all, so we didn't quite know what to expect. But being there, it exposed some things. We talk about communication and love languages and those things. Being able to identify those things were a blessing. And it was good. It was a good vibe. And it was personal, too. So it wasn't scary. It wasn't like off. It was really a good vibe, good energy.
I think for me, it was exciting because it was, something new. Something fresh that me and my husband have never done before. And it was just good to be around, again, good energy, good company, and just, talk about marriage.
Because we don't, we ain't got no phrases crazy, but, when it comes down to other couples, we're very cautious.
Yes.
We rock out with, so it was good. It was real good.
That's definitely cautious, and I understand that. And we was lucky enough, I would say that was lucky. Because we were just one-on-one.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a lot of people the first time. Our second one was a more bigger crowd, but we were able to be intimate and deeper level with each other about conversations that some people may not be comfortable to talk about.
Right.
For sure.
You have anything to say about it?
No, it was good vibes to me. It was very good to have that intimacy, one-on-one, just to pick. We're both very new couples. Just to pick each other's brains of what's been going on has been definitely enlightening.
Okay, so the first time we met, so they had an assignment, you guys, and it was they had to do a communication assignment where they had to take it home with them and they had to act it out where they asked each other questions on daily to check in to see where each other at, their temperature, right? So how did that go? How was that?
I think for me, it was good because I'm usually someone who does not say much. And so I think I was a bit more intentional on checking in and, just making sure we're both good. They say happy wife, happy life, but that's not, it's happy spouse, happy house, yeah. So
Okay,
I think
yes,
it goes both ways. So I definitely think that we took a lot away from it.
Yeah, because I think the checking-in part, because I'm good for letting somebody stay right where you at and keep on moving. Oh, it's all right. Things still got to get done, keep moving. But to be able to check in, we had to really be like what's going on? What is it? And be able to talk about it, was able to bring a resolve to it. This versus just letting it simmer, sit, and create more chaos.
Now, the Hanleys, y'all have 3 children, so I know that's definitely important to check in because we don't have kids yet ourselves, but from what I hear and y'all experience, when you have children, sometimes you can just get into your own zone and then just fall into a complacency, and so checking in, I'm sure it helps. Just to see where each other's at.
No, for sure. We have to be careful
Before you talk about say the kids, we love the twins. So tell them the kids first.
All right, we have a son. His name is Frank. We call him Trey. He's 3. We have 2 girls, Samora and Amina. They're turning 2 in June. Saturday, my Lord. Help us.
Wow. Gemini babies.
Yeah. And what happens is, though, you have to be careful because they pick up on our attitudes or how we feel.
Yeah.
And we have to check in because if we say something or do something, it is like whatever
They're
you
sponges.
Sponges.
They
Yeah.
soak up every little
Yeah.
detail.
And-
Even when you don't think they're watching, they're watching. And sometimes I have to check myself because, like, I'll see them, like, doing something that I may have done. And I'm like, where did you get that from? But then
Right.
again, it's like, no, they're watching you. So
Right.
you definitely have to be
Like,
careful
for
with
example,
that.
I say, oh my gosh, more than I thought I did. I say it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So my son now says, oh my gosh. Oh, no, stop saying that. But I
I know, you're
realized
so smart.
it was me.
That's why it's so important. You know how they say that ministry starts at home,
Yeah.
and ministry, your kids is y'all first, like people that watches y'all, the one that y'all learning from, that's gleaning from y'all. That's why they say it's so important that ministry starts at home because you never know who's watching you.
Yeah.
But in your house, your representation, how you is in your house, is so important before you even go and carry it onto the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna want us gonna look at y'all 1st and be like, well, mommy, daddy, how y'all
Exactly.
doing this or doing that? You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's good. That's very important. I'm glad that y'all said that. Like, and even to bring that acknowledgement how they watch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think oftentimes, like, adults, their first instinct is to check the children, but it's like, no, check yourself
Check yourself.
because they got it from
Listen.
somewhere.
From
Somewhere.
So
Grab it.
Now that would preach. That take us to a
Somewhere.
whole nother.
Right, that's a whole nother.
Let's stay focused. That's
Right,
take us
right.
to a whole nother parenting type
That's
thing.
real, though.
Right, uh-oh.
Nah, but that's good. That's good. Okay, so I like that. Let's see. So moving on. Okay, next question. Here, you ask them a question.
Sure. What's your favorite thing about married life so far?
for me, I think it's just being able to grow with your person. Like, there's nothing more to me precious than having someone to go through every stage of life with you. Because people think like you got it all together when you get married, and the truth is you're both just growing individually and together. And I think that's been the best part for me.
Yeah, that's good.
I think the best part is being able to establish your own. I can talk for my family. My family background history ain't the best example as a believer, but it's like now here I am. I'm able to create our own traditions, our own pathways, our own styles, how we do it, and I'm not doing it by myself. And I do have help. I do have assistance, and trying to do it by yourself is exhausting.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you. It's exhausting. But yeah, so.
No, that's good. That's good. I would say for us, we knew, so y'all kind of a little deeper in it, but
No, they keep calm, okay? 'Cause you make it sound like we've been married for 20 years.
We're going on 4 years.
Oh yeah, it's only, okay.
Yeah.
So we like shredded behind. It's only 4 years.
So-
Yeah, it'll be 4
Before.
years July. We
Yeah.
got married 2020.
2020.
Dang, that
I
was
just got an
fast.
old soul. It just sounds like he,
Why this? I think I was like 7
No.
years. Oh my
Man.
goodness. Okay, so y'all only married for we're going on 2.
Yeah, we'll be 2 in August.
So we right,
Oh,
we're
wow.
right behind
right, we
y'all.
right there.
Okay.
Ain't that
okay.
far
We
behind.
in the
but-
same nursing home when we got hey, that was y'all. Yeah, hey.
Uh-huh.
I would have to agree with you guys too about that, like having someone to learn with and do it with together. You don't have to be alone, because I'm the type of person. I'm so used to just doing it by myself and not having to depend on nobody. I'm very, very independent, but I'm learning. Hope I ain't getting too heavy, because I'm learning to just lean. I'm really
Yeah,
leaning.
yeah. That's important.
Yeah. For
I'm
me-
lean.
yeah.
I mean, I'm leaning.
It's important to lean, and I think you have to find your balance: when to lean, when not to lean, how to lean, because to lean, you feel necessary, you feel needed, you feel wanted, you feel a part. But at the same time, if there's too much heavy of a lean, it's like, all right, now help me, help you, help us, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a balance between the two in marriage.
I get that. I definitely see that. I'm learning that, because the balance and leaning, and so I get that. Yes.
Because my problem is that my challenge has been that I've been by myself longer than I've been married. I've been moving. It's been on me, so I can get caught up and get ghost-like. Not because I have a problem or that I'm mad. I just need to get things done, so
Yeah.
I'm doing. But then I cut out the person who can really make what I'm doing better. Like, you can help with the business better. You can help with booking better. You have things to bring to the table. Because
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to doing it by myself.
Yeah.
I take on stresses I don't have to carry.
And I think for me, I'm not very like insertive. I don't insert myself unless I'm asked. So I'm learning to, insert myself even when I'm not asked. Just like, hey, you good? You need me? Like that kind of thing. I think I'm trying to learn more than just waiting for him to ask me for help.
Listen, that's good, Tyra, because some people do find that as a challenge, like not inserting themselves and just be like, oh, they ain't asked me, so I'm just going to fall back.
Yeah.
Or they don't need me, well, I'm just going to do this over here. But what happens is that creates the separation, and we all kind of just doing our own thing.
Exactly.
But that part right there, that's very important, because some people do not know how to do that. And just noticing, why sometimes we have to just, and be honest, like sometimes our husbands don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say don't know, but sometimes our husbands are just, so, like you said, used to doing it on their own. So used to just doing it. And they're not going to come to us because they don't want to look less or weak or feel like they can't handle it.
Yeah.
And it's very good that as women that we don't make them feel like, it's kind of like giving them, like, patting them on their back. Like, babe, I know you got it, but I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Soften it up.
Or even just showing up.
Yeah, because
present.
you only, I'm going to say this and I'll be this person. You only got a few times to say no when we ask you. And when you do, now that yields to an element of rejection. Okay, say less. I'm not going to purposely put myself in the seat of, no, you can't. So now I keep doing it. You're like, why are you doing it? Because I asked you. I went to come see you. And when I came for you to help, you said no to me. And I needed you because I asked you intentionally. You said no, okay? We didn't make a big scene of it, but now we don't have to ask you. But now we find ourselves in a different place.
And that's one of our lessons that's coming up in 2 classes about dealing with rejection. So that's coming up. But you tapping on it a little bit.
Okay, let me get out of that.
That's like 2
Right.
more lessons that we got coming up. Yeah, dealing with rejection is a real thing in marriage. And sometimes you don't look at it as rejection. You just look at it, I'm just being me or I'm being myself or this is just what it is. No, but you're really rejecting and making your partner feel voided or isolated.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I got a little question. So I just learned something, and it's called twin flames. But I guess I want to ask you guys, do you believe in soulmates or twin flames? I
don't really know the difference.
Demonic? What? Yeah, explain to me this.
I don't really know the difference because I feel like your twin flame is just like that person that just get you like they get you when you don't even have to say it, like that kind of thing.
So I processed this. Now, this is before Twin Flames was flaming. That I think that there isn't just one soulmate per person. I think that there is a type of person for a certain type of person. And I say that because, and this, I'm going to be extra deep, because if that person forfeits their spot because of disobedience, God designed a fit that's for you. Because they weren't willing to make the adjustment, submit to the process with it. So therefore, lets me know that, hey, there's people who have, we call it familiar spirits. We all use it as a negative term. Some people who are characteristics. You can look at somebody, you remind them, and you have characteristics of somebody I used to know. Or person, and we use it oftentimes in the negative sense, but take that positively. You have, the way that you carry yourself reminds me of somebody who has treated me well, done well. And we may be a good match or a good fit. And I think that to the negative side is that, no, maybe this is a bad flame. This is a bad flame. I'm married now, and I love my wife. But there was a season that prior to, in my approach of searching, I told somebody, oh, no, we can't. Because you identify in your characteristics from the school you go to, from your complexion, to where you want to go, what you want to do, your sorority. Like, it was crazy. This is the situation. How you know? Because everything that you're producing here, I just went through depression and heartbreak and sorrow with in my last season. It's a situation. Can't do it.
Yeah. It's like you remind me, you know that Usher song, you remind me of a girl. That, listen, those thoughts that remind you, there's trauma thoughts, triggers, triggers, like that's a real thing. And Can I honestly say that's how sometimes often couples, or I would say men or women, get into a relationship and knowing that they shouldn't. Thank God that she was like, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah.
But some don't see it as this not for me. They see it as this is something that reminds me, so I'm gonna stick with it because this is all I know.
Yeah.
And
Familiar.
it's familiar, and then you end up being with the wrong person or somebody who's really not your person because you start attaching yourself to familiarity and don't like to break the change or cycles in your life.
For sure.
What you gotta say about? What you think about soulmates or twin flames?
I think the Chief Ruling put it pretty good. I think no, that makes perfect sense. I believe in soulmates and twin flames. I believe it's not always just one. Just in case, like you said, if it's a forfeit or disobedience, God will always make a way to. Everything's replaceable in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
Nobody's but
Everything is replaceable. Okay.
and not in the positive side,
Okay.
if in disobedience, the key word disobedience
Okay.
to God.
All right. 'Cause, I feel like I'm not replaceable, but I get your point.
You get my point.
If you disobedient, okay.
Because if God has an assignment for your life and your person or your spouse is not willing to go there with you or even accept the assignment on their life, God will remove them and put somebody in your life who will accept the assignment.
Like my wife and I had a conversation. I said, as long as you're willing, we'll work.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not willing to my agenda to God's plan. But the moment that you have decided that, me and you and God we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're gonna tell me to leave you, but I'm telling you that it's gonna be a rough road. So that's the real thing. And
Very
I
true.
don't know how long His grace lasts for you.
Yeah.
If you like, I'm done with God, I'm done. I can't do this no more. I'm over these people. I'm over God. I'm done. You want to just go wild out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So listen, because you got me off topic. I mean, it's on topic, but off topic. It wasn't on my notes to ask this question. But I had posted a video up, and the woman was talking about her husband. And I can't remember exactly what question was asked, but she was saying how somewhere in the Bible, how she was talking about how her husband used to watch pornography.
Yeah.
And she stopped. She wanted to not watch it no more. She felt convicted. Her husband didn't feel convicted. But in her mind, she like, he better stop. She like, he this and that. She judging him. She feeling her way. And she was like, she noticed that the more she nagged him or the more that she complained about it, the more it was like pushing him toward, like he bucked up against her. Like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. So she basically was saying that it didn't change until she took the point where she took on his sin as if it was hers, and she went to the Father together. Went to as if she was going for him, but she said, I wear his sin as if this was our issue, not just his problem. Because I was more just saying like, this is his problem. God fixed this. She was like, no, this is our problem. God, what do I need to do, or help me to change in this area so he can not desire this or want to do this. This is what we are dealing with. And she said, at that moment, that's when things begin to change because she didn't take it more as it's ours.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about that in marriage? Like because listen, I'm now learning to everything is ours. Yeah. I could say like, oh
Big
wait,
time.
that's what you like to do. That's his thing. But no, this is our thing. Whether it is really was my number one, it could be my number 5. It might be his number 1. But at the end of the day, this is ours. So I have to. I don't want to like use the word have to, like I'm being forced, but I'm gonna rock out with it because it's something that you love.
Yeah.
I want to learn what you love and why. And I think if we look at it that way, let me learn why you love what you love instead of dismissing it. What y'all feel about that?
You got it.
I think I'm the same as Nicole. I'm still learning,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely,
I think that it's important because outside of that, we just roommates. When you start to separate things, and this is just something that I've been dealing with internally, honestly, is when it's, that's yours over there, it's mine over here, you do that, then I do this, we then create this divide where now it's like, now you got there's a time and a place to have your space, but include me. When you start to exclude your partner from what you're doing, doesn't intentionally try to become the mistress or the side thing, but that's what it becomes. Because now your time is occupied doing what you love, but who you love isn't a part of what you love.
That's right.
And it's like,
That's right.
you know, it can cause contention. And watch this. And when you're doing what you love, you begin to entertain other people. Not saying for foul intentions or to be wrong, but it's just there.
Yeah.
And it looks like you would enjoy them more than you would enjoy your partner. But the truth of the matter is that no, we operate as roommates. We live here together. We do, for our case, we got kids together, but we're not doing our activities outside together. We're not partnering together. We're not really working together. So the issues and the challenges, because I'm not a perfect man. I got
You're not perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't nobody is.
They
Yeah.
ain't make it to the situation.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, shoot.
so there's some things that happens. Is like, okay, this ain't just his problem. This is really our situation. So how do we find a resolve for this? And if it's something that she does or that I do, listen, me and God in the shower. Father, get it.
Man.
Holy Spirit, now
Yes.
that's my sugar and I love her.
Yes.
But today, I need you to help me to navigate and help me to navigate, because if you start to separate, you'll handle things pointing the finger.
Pointing
You're the
the
reason.
feet.
You're
Yep.
the blame.
Being a-
You're-
yes, accuser.
No, what's the resolve together? What can we do together to resolve this problem? So I think it matters really being a part of each other. So
Absolutely. I would say 100%. Those who are, listen, you think about getting married or about to get married or marriage, if you look at everything as this is this is our,
and
then you will get through it all. You
and
will
it's
get
an
through it.
adjustment period, because
is.
you've been especially for those who like, I've been with the Lord, me and Jesus, you can do what you want to do. The Bible says that, listen, if you're gonna follow me, be by yourself. But if you can't keep yourself, it's better than married than to burn. But what happens is, now there's two different people coming into a new world who's been raised different, taught different. They ask me all the time, Frankie, do you live in a barn? Why? Because I got a habit of leaving doors open. Open, okay, and moving. So it's like, these are habits that I have. I ain't scared of nothing. Pull up, get pulled on. You know,
Yeah.
But no, what happens is, I have habits and things that she wasn't raised with.
Yeah.
She's a different person. Her mama different. Her sister's different.
Yeah.
The Hanley's different. The Gully's different. But now we're in this world, and it's like we have to create our own.
Yes.
We have to establish our own now. We got to figure out what works for us.
Y'all law.
Yeah.
Y'all creating your own law.
Your own, no, valid. Come on, that'll preach, okay? Balance. It's important. Very important.
Okay, so who are the Hanleys? I want y'all to introduce a little bit about yourself and which other. I know y'all got some businesses, whatever. So let's introduce the people who are the Hanleys.
You wanna go?
Sure. I am Tyra Hanley. I am the wife to Frank Hanley for almost 4 years. Will be 4 years in 2 months. I am also a mom of 3.
Yeah.
I am a model.
Yeah.
I am an artist.
Come on, talk about it.
I'm still learning myself. I think I can do anything I put my mind to, and so I'm not going to label myself as just those things. I'm ever evolving.
Oh, you did. Come
Stop.
on, be that. That's AKA that's Hey Ra. Just let that hit your spirit. Oh my God, who's the other person? I am Frank Hanley. I am the husband of a beautiful wife, Tyra. I am a chief leading elder in the Lord's Church. I am a father of 3 beautiful children. I have a business called Hanley Holding, which does media productions. I have a JQ juicing business that does smoothies and those things. I host. I do line dancing. I do a lot of things in the entertainment field as well as media and apparently smoothies and healthy things. So, personally, the Hanleys, you see life at the party, if you will, but really what it is just I want people to have a good time and a good atmosphere. And one thing that I really try to push aggressively is clean fun. Yeah. That you can have fun, you can have a good time, and still love Jesus and be committed and be set aside and be 100%. Holy. So the Hanleys come with that kind of vibe. That's just who we are. My kids, lit. So you'll hear them praise break, you'll hear them dance, and then you hear them say, "Twin, where have you been?" It's all there because I'm about the balance of the wholeness of life. not to be so consumed with one thing that it's canceling out the full who we are. So, yeah, we got an assignment in our life as well.
So, I got a question.
Yes.
So y'all was talking, you mentioned the word balance, so maybe
Yeah.
bring this to those maybe out there want to know. So how can you help someone balance the issue where, because there's an age gap. There's an age gap. Yes. So how do you balance, or how does it work for y'all, like with the age gap and dealing with that? Because, I'm going to be honest, so like I sometimes used to pick, I don't pick with him no more because now he's officially about to be 31. But I used to pick with him when he was in his 20s because I'm about to be 35. I don't know how I'm about to be 35.
Lord.
I think. But anyways, he about to be 31 in the next couple of days, 31st. Yeah. So now I don't no longer pick on him. I say, you in there now. You in the 30s. You settled. You settled now.
Right.
I used to call him my little
Yes,
young, my little tenderoni. I'm like, my little young thing. Come here, little young, my little PYT.
Yes.
That's crazy.
My PYT. But so I used to pick on him, but I don't do it no more. He earned his big dog position.
Gee whiz. Earned is crazy.
Wow. I put my coins in. Okay?
Earned is crazy.
Right, now, let me- But how you guys deal with that?
All right, so I have to go back because I knew what this was going to be like from the beginning because of the fact that the prophetic words in those elements, but I knew that I had a grace or a time frame to understand that she's still developing and evolving.
Great.
That it wouldn't be, it wasn't going to be the easiest route. But it was God's. It's, okay, we can do this. All right. So with that knowledge, I can say, okay, days of figuring out because she is young. She's still learning and evolving. Okay, there's a grace for that. Sometimes, Frank, I'm young old. Okay, I ain't gonna hold you. Some days I'm like, leave me alone. I got to go. And some days I'm too young with the kids trying to be lit and crazy. Like, babe, calm down. You too old now. You know. But what it is
Too
though,
old now.
I feel like my life should be the bridge of the two.
Yeah.
So I think that also, though, there's some things that I have in my maturity or just evolving that she brings a vibrancy of still youth to me because I be in all black in the corner and lit. Like she brings life,
facts.
she brings color, she brings balance, she brings the what I need not only to be relevant but to really be. I'm gonna say this how I hear it: the ability to age backwards well. She said to me currently, babe, you looking a little younger than. Watch yourself. I know.
Uh-oh.
So it balances out. It balances out. I'm guilty at the beginning of making it weird. I would always be, oh yeah, I'm 10 years older than her. They give the dramatic pause because I'm extra sound, extra effects. But at this point, what God's put together, it is what it is. And when I tell you it was all God, it was all God. So I ain't gonna get into that story. But.
That's a good story, though. It is. But I think for me, I think we balance each other out very well. Like he said, some days it's like I feel like he brings out more maturity in me and things that I feel like I still need to learn, or like things that I may have not dealt with or seen before. I think he definitely helps me to understand things more. And I think for him, I keep him lit. I do.
Lit.
But he lit by himself, but I feel like I bring another level of just freedom to him.
For sure.
Because I'd be like, it's fine, go dance. Do
Another
you.
spark.
Do you?
Right.
You don't got to be all restricted,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
No.
No, I think that's good. I think that's good. Balance is definitely good, and I think y'all handling it. Y'all doing well.
And I tell people, balance is never a 50-50. It is the fact that something's going to suffer, but it's not the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, you'll give yourself a breather. Like, hey, and I told her one time, babe, it's your time to suffer. What you mean? It's your time. Give me it. I'll be back around. Okay. What you mean? What you mean?
Yeah, that's no, that's for real. I think that's where we at right now. I think Winton's I'm in school, So he's in the he's very understanding. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Like, there's
He just
so many
understand.
things, like it's ministry, it's children,
Yeah.
it's home, it's work, it's school. So it's ever just changing. Like,
Yeah.
Always changing. Now that part right there. How do y'all deal with the challenges of Elder? We got Elder Frank, Chief Ruling Elder Frank. He got all this going on, and then now you're blossoming and grooming into the woman. Listen, because Tyra just don't know. She's blossoming. I don't want to pick on her too much.
No, now prophet prophesy, huh?
Right.
But she is blossoming into her fullness of who she is and stepping out, and I'm grateful, to see
Tyra
it.
cooking up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cooking
happening.
up.
And you know what? And I think it's that because you're now accepting
yes.
the challenge. I think I'm gonna say accepting the challenge. I'm gonna say just like that because I think you know that it's there, but the problem was accepting it, all the pressure that comes with it.
Yeah.
And can I be honest with you? Because sometimes we look at our partners, right, and we be like, we see all they do, and we like, I don't want to do all that because I'll see what he carrying.
Yes.
Because I think my husband look at me like that because he like, man, she doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And you sometimes be like, it kind of. I had to. Can I say one thing? I had to learn this because I'm starting to learn not to wear it on my face when it is a concern or when it is a problem or when I'm not at ease with something. Because I still understand the position I played in him, if that makes sense. And sometimes if he sees me in a place that's like, it could cause him to delay wherever he's trying to go. So I'm learning to like, all right, I gotta. Yeah, everything's okay. It's even though I'm frustrated. So, that's what I said. I just want to say I wanted to acknowledge that part that you're blossoming,
Thank you.
you're growing. I see it. I love it. And what you about to say, Elder Frank?
It's really all God because I feel like with my husband being chief ruling elder, just being able to see him be who he is at church and he's the same exact way at home, it definitely helps me to understand, the call on his life. And even like me walking into my calling, there's some days where it's like, I'm scared because I see what he deals with, with people and, me. I'm like, not too much on my husband. Don't talk to him like that. But you have to, remain in a posture of just letting God lead you even through those challenging moments. Because it's like you want to check people, but then you have to understand, who he is and his assignment and, just let God handle it.
That's why sometimes I don't check into these text messages until Friday because I'm not messing with y'all all that. Like, he ain't said nothing yet. I know. Yeah. But I think that, like I said, it's come with balance. And I think I said today, actually, where much is given, much is required. Yeah. And because of the assignment and the purpose, this is just what it is for me. And I get it. But as I develop and do my purpose and execute my plan in life, not my plan, but God's plan for me in life, these things just come with the territory, but they'll work themselves out. But I try to be the best example. Now, again, I'm not a perfect man, but be the best example to show you it's going to be all right. God got it. God got it. See, Lord say sometimes I'm too nonchalant. You be like, God, it's going to be good.
Listen, I'll be ready. And I'm learning to chill. And I don't even think people realize it because I'm so just quiet. But I observe everything. Like, I am somebody who just watch everything. And so there's sometimes like he may not see something, but I see it. And I just have to immediately pray and be like, God, just, do what you do because not too much on my husband.
And that is your job. You are the watcher. You are the seer to behind his back to see some things that he just do not see. That's our role. You know what? We often see things that they don't see. And I say that to say this because what I'm learning is most of the men, y'all in the forefront, right? And we're like behind y'all and got y'all back. So our view of things is a little bit more wider than y'all's if y'all in the front. If y'all ever think of that. If y'all in the front line, our view is behind y'all. So when we see it, we can observe more than what y'all can see. Because y'all standing in the front line, you have to focus on going ahead. Right. And we have to focus on pushing forward. So we see what's on the side. I don't get too deep into that. But you know help the people. But we see, but that's our job as a woman, as a wife, as a Your job is to observe and to see things. And like, it's very important sometimes, like you said, not knowing when to speak or when to speak up, but when to take it to the Father and when to pray about it, because you making sure your husband has to plow the way. But I'm here to pray and to guide, to make sure that he stay on the track to continue to plow the way. I don't want to hinder it or move it. So that's why observing, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of what's going around, being aware of what he's dealing with, what he's going to, like, as a wife, I know that the men carry a lot, because we do put a lot, like, y'all carry the house, y'all carry the most of the weight, but our weight is a lot too, because we deal with a lot of mental.
Yeah.
Y'all deal with a lot more of the strength, but we deal with a lot of the mental battle that
heavy is a load.
We do a lot of the mental battle, because we still have to be we play a lot of the multiple roles that has to be submissive. For one, we have to still be submissive and still not step out of the role of, because some of us, we must be alphas. I'm an alpha, but
he's an omega. Okay, go ahead.
So it's kind of just, knowing to stay in your role and not having to, because I can clap back real quick, I can be this and that, but staying in that role of behind and being okay and being comfortable with that, like him setting rules or telling me a yes or no, like when, like, and being okay with that, like I can't do what, or I can't go where, or we can't do what, like how do y'all, like, as far as, okay, I'm gonna ask it like this, then we're gonna lead to that. So who is the chief ruling decision maker, I would say, in the household?
I would say Frank is, honestly, because
Good.
I would say he is, mostly because just me, like, growing into who I am, sometimes I don't know, like, if it's the right choice or the right decision, or, like, I'm very, like, reserved. So, like, even if I'm, like, invited somewhere, I feel like I'm, like, more hesitant to go. Mm-hmm. But he's always, like, sometimes he'll be like, it may not be the best move right now. Or sometimes he's like, you need a life outside of being a mom and a wife. Like, go, get out, do something, like that kind of thing. But I feel like
that's good.
I definitely lean on him more, just because I feel like his experience with certain things helps me.
Yeah, and I think for me, I make decisions for sure. She ain't got no say, so no, I'm playing. No. But I also try to encourage her to make decisions independently, because as much as you talk about being the man and having, plowing the way, making the way, her independence is important to me as well. So as a leader of the house, it's like, all right, yeah, you still got stuff that you can do outside of being the mother, outside of being my wife. Do those. My mind is always creativity. Be creative. So gifted. So talented. So beautiful. What we got to do to make it happen? I'm gonna say something crazy on the microphone, but I'm not gonna say it. But long story short is that whatever needs to happen for you to have an experience outside of these roles you play inside the house, I want you to have those. So go. So I think that in my decision, I guess so. But I try to force her to give into making decisions, because I believe that doing my due diligence, there's certain roles that she needs to take. You set the order in certain things, and I follow. Now, you may not like me for this conversation, but too bad. I'm going to say it. Not that she's the traditional, gotta cook, gotta clean, these things. But if you set an order, I'm going to follow it. But if you don't set the order, for example, let me talk about it. If you don't, my mom won't like it either, tell me to take the shoes off at the front door, this is the thing, this is what we're doing now, and if you don't tell me this, I'm walking from the front door to the restroom first, and then where I want to go, I'm moving.
Right.
But you have whatever order you set, hey, I have to try my best to follow. But you set the order. If it is a rule, there ain't no dishes in the sink. By the end of the, you set the, because if you don't, I'm going to be running, ripping, and running. But these are things, and not saying that it's only the house rules for her, but this is her territory. Yeah, absolutely. I got the outside. I got you. I got the perimeter. We good. But this inside, this is your world. And I'm willing to abide by it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give you my wisdom as you go out. But inside this house, whatever what you want.
Yeah.
How you want it. What it gotta be. I may not even like it because you said it. All right. You got this one.
And that's real good. That's a good balance to have as couples. Sometimes that balance is not shown. I want to say y'all instill it perfectly for me. I think that's just how it goes in my household as well. But like I give my husband, like Tyra gave you, the utmost respect. Yes, he makes a decision, but she has room to speak as well. And that balance is very important because some women really, because the Bible says we are to submit to our husband and that we are to obey. That's what the Bible says. And I'm okay with obeying what my husband say. Why? Because I trust his decisions. I trust what he's saying. So I'm okay with that part because the Bible never told a man to obey us. It never did. So, but I trust because I trust what his decision making and I trust that he will not mislead or guide me. I'm okay with that portion of obeying, but in my defense as who I am, he respects who I am, so he allows me to have the open space to make decisions. So that's good. I like the balance. That was good.
The part two to that is that the husband is to love you like Christ loved the church.
Absolutely.
So
he gotta
Christ
cherish.
doesn't, number one, he doesn't force himself
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
on the church.
Exactly.
Number two is he's willing to die for her.
Exactly.
Number three is he hears her petition.
Yeah.
So there are things that happen as
Preach.
a husband that I must hold my responsibility for you to have the contractual agreement to be submissive.
Yes.
So if I don't love you like Christ loved the church, your submission to me ain't really required.
Nope.
Right.
That's
Because
true.
I'm not holding my end of the
end,
bargain.
Help somebody
yeah.
today.
And that comes at a heavy cost. Somebody talk about the fact that you can go and be foul
Yeah.
and do wrong.
Yeah.
But as your husband, I'm going to have the grace to cover you,
Yeah.
to protect you,
Yep.
and to rescue you. That's why my life is on the line for you.
Yeah.
And that when I look at you, watch you being like Jesus, I'm not looking at you right now, I'm looking at your future.
Yeah.
So that's what I can say to my wife. No, I don't think you should go to this event because you got more things you got to do, and this might taint what God's trying to do.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at a bigger picture in
Yeah.
the future because I have to love you like Christ.
Yep. And because she trusts you,
Just about to say that.
she can yield to that and say, okay, babe, because I trust that you will have no harm or lead me or guide me. You know, or this is not you coming from a control.
Yes, that's so important.
It's not control. This is because you are my well-being of us as a union and my future.
And I feel like that's why it's so important to have other, like, surround yourself with other, God-fearing Christians, because, like, I feel like sometimes having friends outside of like people who aren't married, they'll be like,
Kind of control you.
yeah, like,
What-
not that none of my
not
people has
mine.
ever said that, but
No, I know.
but it can be like that. Like, if you have a bunch of single friends and they're just living life and doing what they doing,
Yeah.
they don't get it, and so then it's like, oh, he controlling, but it's really like,
Or they will call your husband like, oh, you a sucker for her.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's making sure his household, he love his wife. That's not him being a sucker. He love his wife. He want to make sure that everything's good because he understands that if she gets this, everything is going to fall in peace in life.
so just for those out there who are married or looking to get married, make sure you surround yourself with people who respect your marriage, respect your spouse, respect you, because they would not ever put you in a situation that would defile your marriage or you as a person. So that's very important.
Yeah.
Anything else you like to say, Mr. Reed?
Nah, this all good right here.
It's all good right here.
Okay, so the last question. What advice you will give to other married couples that wasn't taught to you, that you didn't learn yet, that you learn now?
What advice?
Yep, will you give to other married couples that wasn't taught to you, but you learned it now?
I would say this might sound crazy, is that you can really trust God, because my marriage is an example of faith in that you have to hear God's instructions concerning what he wants you to do, and if it be his will, he's going to make provision for it. If it was not for my obedience to God's instruction, I would not be married, I wouldn't have vehicles, I would not have children, because my circumstances did not, now y'all may like this too bad, my circumstances was not the ideal situation for me to get married.
Yeah.
But God, if it be your will, what's the plan? Is there consequences? Absolutely. Do you learn as you go? Absolutely. But if God has sanctioned this, he's going to make provision and he's going to provide. And you have to be, especially for that man, if faith is your step, you got to hold on to it even when it don't make sense. And faith has to be so crazy and so important that it convinces your partner to believe. Because there were some days and some times where your decision don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Logically, I'm really pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Because it don't make sense. But I got to be obedient to what I heard him told me to do.
Oh, yeah.
But because of my obedience, he then set things in order. So I would tell the person who is operating by faith to trust God and do what God says do in the timing that he says do it in, and not delay.
I think for me, it would be don't stop communicating.
Yeah.
That's with your spouse. That's with your spouse-to-be. That's with God. Because the minute you stop communicating with God, you leave room for the enemy to start communicating with you.
That's it.
Start communicating with your spouse. So I think it's just very important to do not stop talking to God.
Yeah.
Even when everything is good and we in a good place, you know, you and your spouse in a good place, do not stop talking to God.
Yeah.
Because the minute things go left, he all you got.
Yeah, no doubt.
So-
I was listening to a video this morning, and it was just like, even when good things are happening, start preserving, I think it's about money, but just 20%. Start putting stuff aside, because a bad day is coming.
Yeah.
A rough day is coming.
Oh, yeah.
And when it shows up, you have to be ready for it.
Have to be ready.
But if you haven't talked to God, you haven't invested your time, you haven't done what my wife just said, the bad day is coming, you ready, I'm about to jump ship.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to handle it.
And I'm going to get out of that. And what would be a shame is if you be willing to jump ship and the person be willing to let you go.
See, and that's so that right there, that's good, because as married couple, like you said, who gonna be the one that's gonna be the fight when the other person just give up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's that balance right there. Like, okay, you tripping right now. I see you ready to give up. You ready to walk out of this, but I ain't gonna let you go. No, I'm holding on because I trust and believe in the word from what was said in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
You may not see it right now, and that's okay. But I'm okay. I'm gonna carry it for the both of us.
Yeah. Then that's a load. That bond said that.
Hold on to what God said in the beginning.
Listen,
That's
What
a
did
real
the Lord
thing.
say?
What did he say? Because actually, me and my wife went to the altar. Okay, noonday prayer. I put, Lord, what you say, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was before we got married.
We got
Like-
married. And then we were like 2 weeks out. I was at prayer. I was sitting in Whirlpool. Y'all know it. I was sitting behind the little TV stuff we had. And I was in that chair just like, Father, if it ain't, I'll shut it down.
Yeah.
If it's not, I'll pull a cord.
Yeah.
But but if God said a thing,
Yeah.
because He said it, He said it. I'm like, all right, Lord. And I
Right,
told
right,
God,
right.
and I was a cocky faith believer. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I told the Lord, we was at a picnic that she didn't like me. Talk about that. But we was in the car talking. He said, when we get married? I said, set the date. Tell me what the date is. July 11th, period. It's taken care of. Now I'm talking good. She left. I'm like, yeah, Father God from heaven. If it be your will,
Yeah, yeah.
what is it? But he provided.
He
Yeah.
Not only
provides.
he provided the ring for engagement. He
Yeah.
provided. I somebody
apartment.
the apartment. Somebody
Literally
else
10
paid.
days before we got married, we didn't have nowhere to
Nowhere.
go once we, got married. But literally 10 days before our wedding,
Like-
we found a place.
And I was living in my aunt's basement and in the cubicle, okay, and
Right.
out of garbage bags. But it's like, God, if you said it, you got somebody else paid for me to get my real estate license. I went to class, and I sold 2 houses. That purchased
Oh, wow.
the ring. And after that, it was done.
Yeah.
It's like if not only the only reason this was to get the ring. That's God's provision. So God, if this is your will, you got to provide.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm doing their prayer. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
The job ain't jobbing. And then the dates ain't dating. And I'm gonna get out of my story.
Listen.
That's gonna be another episode.
That's a
We'll
real-
talk.
That's real.
We understand that because we did it real quick. And I
Yeah.
remember, because first of all, I was okay with us just let's just get married, go take a trip, and go Hawaii or somewhere. We go on the beach. I don't care about having a whole full-blown wedding. But we ended up having a whole wedding with people in a venue, and I'm like,
Jesus.
how this is going? Who gonna pay for this? You know, I'm dead. I'm like, who gonna pay for this? But when I tell you that everything was provided, was paid for, I was. And you know what? This is where the balance come in between me and him, because I'm a planner and I like everything like this. And I want everything. I don't like to stress and worry about it, so I like it be done and I don't want to worry about it. But for him, it was like, I'm like, I need these flowers. I gotta pay for this. And I need $400. I need this. I need $1,000 over here and this and that. And he be sitting there like, and I'm talking like this crazy. He like, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like,
Lived on faith my whole life.
Okay. He's shutting me down every time. And I'm like, you ain't tell your man. I'm looking. Ain't nobody called me yet because your man haven't been to the get they tux or get. And you know, it's like the last 2 weeks of the wedding, and I'm like, you ain't tell you. I'm ready to call them up. He like. Relax. I got it.
What's crazy is, and for me though, I have faith, but my process of believing God is those moments. Like, baby, just calm down. It's gonna be okay.
Right.
But it's only because faith has been displayed. You know, He's shown up for us so much. Like, one day we're gonna have a conversation about our wedding story. I'm gonna tell you the details of the journey.
Yeah.
The journey, that journey, I totally understand. Well, listen. Well, I thank you all. Thank you for, all the questions and everything. I hope y'all guys got something out there and learned something out there. But we got one more segment. We got to move in. I hope we got a treat for y'all that we're going to do together. And I hope you guys will enjoy.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Absolutely. It ain't over yet, but part one.